Jewish friends and Muslim friends and South Americans and Africans and all sorts of people, friends I've picked up along the way in these trouble spots. And they've gone through it. Well, I just put it through AI. I just signed up for a month on AI. And so I've got it till the end of December. And I just put it through, and I can send you a copy of it. And it's on the McCarthy plan. If you just go to mccarthyplan.com, that's where you'll see my vision and my 25-point plan. I put it through AI, and they gave it 9.5 out of 10.
Interesting.
And it's pretty good. And it's all about love, truth, and better ideas for the sake of all nations of the world. So let's not be, it's great to spend 5% of our time, going down rabbit holes and studying on what's going on. But we really need to just think about solutions for the sake of all nations of the world. And that's where I'm at. I spent a lot of time hearing people screaming and watching people dying, children and adults. But it's the air beneath my wings. I'm not traumatized by this stuff. It's like, what are we doing to prevent this? And to understand what is a nation and how best do we preserve it, strengthen it, and defend it, not only for the sake of itself, but for all nations of the world. And if you really want to get a taste, a real reality check, then I suggest you read the book Blip by Christopher Clugston. That's B-L-I-P, Bravo, Lima, India, Papa. Blip by Christopher Clugston. Read that book. That's the direction of travel. That's what the central banks know. And that's it. But let's focus on the love. Let's focus on the truth. Let's focus on the better ideas for the sake of all nations. There's a lot to look forward to. And this is just a period. But, nature wins in the end. And nationalism is natural law. And there's, so that's it, really.
Michael, thank you very much, Michael. Very interesting. Great call. I really appreciate it, mate. I'd like to have you back again sometime. Maybe we could talk about some more of your theory. Michael, I'm going to let you go because I've got other people waiting again. Thank you, brother. Have a great Christmas.
Quick thing. How do I get hold of you?
You'd have to do it through the YouTube system. If you go onto the contact part, you can get to me via that, yeah?
No worries. Check out mccarthyplan.com and I'll send you the AI
all the best.
AI critique of it, yeah.
Thank you, mate. All the best. Let's have a little look. Right. George has disappeared. Craig, you're up next. Craig, good evening, mate.
Paul.
How you doing?
I've been up before. New Haven.
Yeah, I remember, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I thought I'd say hello. Come and say hello to you. I haven't seen you for a while.
Not far from my spiritual home there.
Yes, I used to live in the old Hove, Centre of Hove, Portland Road area.
How's the weather in New Haven this evening?
I wouldn't know. I don't go out.
Oh, right. So you're stuck indoors. As it happens, my wife is about 1.5 miles from where you are now. So
all right.
She's not far at all. She's gone back home to see her parents and one of my daughters. So, she's not far from you, mate, tonight. She said it was all right. She said the weather's been quite nice today back at home. I think she went into Eastbourne, actually.
Used to live there?
No, I think my wife's got... Oh, you used to live in Eastbourne?
Yeah, I used to live in Hamden Park.
Okay, yeah. It's gone downhill, though, isn't it, I think?
Well, I lived down there in a pub on the corner at Mountfield Road.
Just 1 second, mate. Richard is trying to... Richard is just trying to come on as well. So...
Hello, Richard.
Yeah, Richard's just sent me a message. So, Richard, if you're watching, look, the link is in the chat, brother. Would love to have you on. By the way, Richard, when you get on, I'm going to tell you off, and I'll tell you when you get on.
I've got to tell my wife off later. Don't worry about it. She's been mean to me today.
Why is that?
Oh, she was telling me how much she fancied you and that.
Oh, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. I'll tell you what, listen, I'm better on screen than I am in real life, trust me.
I better go, Paul. Let the other people on.
Yeah, all the best to you, Craig. Have a lovely Christmas, mate.
Take care, Paul. You too, mate. Happy New Year as well.
And you, brother, and you. Let me just remove the people that have already been on. We have got the Patriotic Christian up next. How you doing, mate?
Hello, how are you?
Oh, good, mate. Good to see you. You always got a nice smile on your face. What's going on, brother?
So there was a little protest that I went to today to show my face, give some support.
Where was that?
So yeah, Cheltenham.
Okay.
Very small one, but went over there. Just been focusing on the channel, really.
Good.
Yeah.
How's it going?
13 away from 1K.
Good,
So,
good. Well, give your channel a shout out right now, and let's get some people over there subscribing for you.
yeah, so it's the Patriotic Christian UK. So I've just been making short films at the moment, but I have been working on these podcasts. So I've got a couple of interviews coming up with upcoming YouTuber. He wants to be the Joe Rogan of the UK. As he said, his name is Codex Martin Brennan. He's a very good guy, and he's a full-time YouTuber now. He's left his job, everything. So
yeah,
he's really going in for it. So he's had like 21.5 million views in the past month, and he's only just started. So he's getting somewhere. So I got an interview with him, and it's just I was just watching the Unite the Kingdom Carol concert just now. I've just finished it, and wow, what an amazing day! Did you watch it?
Oh, mate, it was lovely. I'll tell you what, I've got to be honest with you. I was sitting there watching it, and I wish I could have been there. And then when that little girl spoke, that was it. I was gone. Yeah. It got me. You know, that was it. I'm sitting there with tears rolling down my cheeks.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that really just personifies everything for me.
The Holy Spirit, Paul. It moves through everyone. It really does. It was funny today. The most hilarious thing I have seen today was there was 5 priests, all from different denominations of churches or vicars, right? And I mean, I'm Eastern Orthodox, but I don't discriminate against any other Christians or whatever. I believe we're all equal. And they decided they were singing carols. And this is what I didn't get. They had the Salvation Army stood with the counter protesters, waving Palestinian flags, singing carols, Islamic migrants in a hotel. And I was thinking, what on earth's going on? And the next thing you know, the police liaison officer comes up to me and he says, these guys, they want to come and have a debate with you. So I was like, okay. So I said, just let them over. They come over and they started asking me if I was a Christian. I said, it's pretty obvious. Check the hat and the tattoo. Yeah. And they started going on about Christianity and what I thought about Christianity and, what it meant to me. So I gave my revelation, and then I started talking about the schism and everything. And I said, you guys are in disagreement anyway. And the debate literally lasted all of 3 minutes. They ended up shaking my hand and invited me to their church to come and give a sermon. You couldn't write it.
Oh, mate. Well, we just got to keep going. Let me bring Richard in as well. Evening, Richard. And we've got, let me just unmute you there. Steve, we've got Steve as well. Steve, good evening, mate. Steve, can you hear me? Steve, we can't hear you, mate. Richard, how are you, brother?
Yeah, good, mate. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, Paul.
Yeah, I can hear you both now. First of all, I'll go to Richard first. Richard, come on, Rich, you're a professional. Turn your phone round.
Mate, listen. Okay, let's see what happens.
There you go. Look,
there we go.
Richard, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Me?
I've been worried about you, mate. I did a live stream, right?
Yeah.
When did I did it Friday, and people were saying to me, "Oh, Richard really didn't look very happy this morning, right? He looked really down." So, I mean, you've got more telephone numbers than the National Lottery, right? So I'm messaging you on every number. Rich, you all right? Rich, talk to me, bro. Rich, you okay? Where are you, mate?
I was in the air and I was on my burner. You know what I mean? I was in the wind and I was on the burner phone because you know the feds were on me.
Are you home already?
Am I what?
Are you home already?
No, I mean my friend Ian. I'm in his house tonight.
Say hello to Ian for me. Say hello to Ian.
Yeah, Ian's gone to bed. He needs his beauty sleep.
Oh, right, okay. Let me bring Steve in. Steve, how you doing, mate? Steve, can you hear me? Hello, Steve. Earth to Steve. Steve, can you hear me?
Hello, Paul. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, mate. How are you?
I can hear you.
Yeah, good. Can you hear me? Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good man, mate. Yeah, good man. We can hear you well. How are you doing? You all right?
Well, look, yes. I'm getting an awful lot of echo here and lag.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is, Steve. I think you got to adjust your settings,
mate.
I
say that, Richard, you were very loud.
Right, Steve, what I'm going to have to do, sorry, mate, I'm going to have to remove you, Steve, unfortunately, but I'll try and bring you back in a minute. Have a little look at some of your settings, and hopefully we can bring you back in. Let's bring in a caller who hasn't put on his camera and he's calling himself Immigrant. Let's have a little listen to what he's got to say. Good evening. What would you like to say? How are you?
Hello, my brother. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, mate. Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't like the racism I see in your videos.
You don't like the racism, yeah? Tell me which racism that is then.
Well, because I'm a proud legal immigrant, and I see your videos are always about us, talking about the hotels, talking about what we do.
Right, first, hold on one second, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from someone. Let me just find out who the feedback's coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, the feedback is coming from you. So have you got this on your TV as well as talking to me?
Wait there, brother. Maybe it's right. Can you hear me better now?
You've got to turn down the volume so that I can't hear myself bouncing back.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm not very good with technology.
No,
can you hear me?
That's good. That's better. Right, okay, now start from the beginning. You don't like the racism you see on this channel. Is that what you said?
That's right, my friend. Yes.
Okay, so do you want to point out which racism that you've seen and heard?
I've seen it all, brother. I've seen all of your racism videos, and it's not really nice talking about.
You can't just say that without telling me what racism that you've seen and heard.
Your whole message is about bringing us down, and making us feel bad because we're legal immigrants. That's what you're trying to do.
That's absolute nonsense.
You're trying to get people on your side to bring us down.
So,
create some.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Sorry, did you say you're an illegal immigrant?
Yes, brother.
No, he said legal.
You're an illegal or legal. Are you legal or illegal?
Illegal, brother.
You're illegal. Okay.
So there in the first place.
Can I just put something to you, my friend? You've come to this country. The first thing you did when you came to this country, when you set foot on English, Scottish, or Irish soil, the first thing you did was committed a crime. And you've got the neck to come on here. You're not. This isn't about race. This is about criminality. And my friend, you're a criminal. That's what it is. You've broken into this country. Can I ask a question? Are you a scientist, an engineer, or a doctor?
I'm in a hotel, my brother. I'm not a scientist.
No. I'm not asking you what. I'm not asking you where you're staying. Are you a scientist, an engineer, or a doctor?
No, I'm absolutely jobless right now, brother. I'm trying to get a job.
You're jobless. Okay. And what was your prefer? Where are you from? Are you from Pakistan, Afghanistan, or Iraq?
I'm not going to say where I'm from, brother. I think it's pretty obvious where I'm from, but I'm not.
No, sorry. I know why you're not saying where you're from because you threw your passport overboard when you're in the dinghy.
No, brother. You got.
How did you get here?
I got here by boat, my brother.
What's your purpose here in the UK?
Better life, easy life.
An easy life. You know what? I'm going to be brutal. This isn't racist. This is not racist. Yeah. I don't know what colour you are. You could be whiter than me. I don't care what colour you are. Do you know what? You're an illegal migrant. You're milking the system. You're not welcome in our country. I don't care about you, and I want you to go home.
You'll never do anything.
That's not racist. I want you out of my country. I fought for my country. Have you fought for the United Kingdom? Have you fought for the country? No, well, I have. I don't want you. I want you gone.
Would you fight for the United Kingdom if you were asked?
Boys, hold on, boys. I want to hear what this fella's got to say. Look, to be fair, he's called in. I want to hear what he's got to say, right? So, first of all, why did you come to the UK?
Just for a better life, basically. Because I know that I'll get everything. I know when I get there, I get everything given to me.
So you get everything for free. That's why you came into the UK. I'm going to say this. I'm not sure that you're a genuine caller, and I'll tell you why I'm not sure that you're a genuine caller, because I don't think that someone would ring up and admit to being what you are and why you've come here. I think you would have a better excuse. Prove me wrong. You must have. So you're actually coming on here live and telling us that you come here to milk our system.
Yes, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm a legal immigrant. I'm not joking to you. Why would I lie about that, my brother? I don't like racism, man. I don't like racism, man.
Well, no, it's not about race.
Let me challenge it. This is not about race. This is about criminality. You're not this isn't about what religion you are, what color you are. This is about the fact that you're a criminal. You've broken it this country. Yes, you are. No, it's not funny. It's not a laughing matter. You're a criminal who's milking the system. And there's people can't get health care. There's people that are basically can't get homes because people like you are milking the system. And you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, you're not embarrassed. I'm one of many. I'm one of many.
Yeah, and you're not welcome. You're not welcome. You're not welcome here.
Okay. I will leave then if you're going to be nasty to me, buddy.
Can I ask you a question? Can you see why some people in the UK, why British people are concerned about you guys when we know absolutely nothing about you? And you come to our country, roam our streets, you come from a different culture, possibly a different religion, most probably, and we know nothing about you, yet you walk around our streets and you get everything, like you've said. You want an easier life, everything's given to you. Can you see why the British people are concerned?
Yes, I do, brother, yes.
You do? So is that racist then?
No, because you're putting us all in the same category. That Paul Thorpe is saying that we're all the same.
So we can be concerned, but we can't put you all in the same category.
That's correct.
So how are we supposed to know which one's different then? If you're all unvetted, undocumented, and we know nothing about you, how can we defer you from another migrant?
And that, by the way, is the problem. You say we label you all as the same, but when your first action when you come into this country is to break our law, break into our country and get housed and benefited for free, then is it any wonder that the British people will, in many cases, tar you with the same brush? Now, I don't think anyone here, with the exception, perhaps the one down the bottom, where is it? I don't think anyone here would say that every single illegal migrant has come here with bad intentions or to harm us. But how the hell can we trust you guys when your first action is to come here, break the law, and potentially bring a threat to our society that's involved our women and our children, which has been proven time and time and time again?
So, Paul, if I can jump in there, this man, by his own testimony, his own admission, said he came here for an easy life and to get free stuff. That's what he said. He came here for an easy life and to get free stuff. And that is theft. Basically, he wants to steal from the benefit system of the United Kingdom. So you're a liar because you've thrown your passport away and you won't tell anyone where you've come from. And you're a thief because you're stealing from the British people. That's not racist. I don't know where you're from.
Richard, let him answer that. Let him answer that.
If they give me money, I'm gonna accept it. Right, brother? I'm gonna accept it. And that's what I do. That's what we do.
Because you're a thief. You're a thief.
You're
stealing from the British people.
I didn't.
You and your NGOs and the NGOs, you've conspired to steal off the British people. That's what you've done. And I've got many Pakistani and Afro-Caribbean friends and African friends that don't want you here. So it's not about race. It's about you being a grifter and a blagger and a thief.
They do want to be here. They do want to be here.
So,
No, they don't.
Richard, hold on. I've got another question for this gentleman, right? So, what is your long-term plans? How do you and your friends see the long-term plans for the United Kingdom, for this country? What are your long-term intentions here?
We're here to take over in a way we're here to make it our own country. We're trying to make it bigger, better. We're trying to make it, we're just trying to take over basically in time. I believe in 10 years' time, my answer to you is that we're going to make it home. We're going to make it more home. And
we're going to bring in Sharia law.
No, but we're going to continue to make it home. And it's no longer your country, Paul. Matter of fact, I think you're in Spain. You're not even in this country anymore. So you got some answering to do because it's in no country anymore, brother.
It's not our country anymore.
No.
Now,
wait, I've got some. Let me just say this. Hold on a minute, Richard. I've got one bit of bad news for you, my friend. Right? Let me tell you something. If you get any history book and read about the British, you'll learn one thing: nobody defeats. Nobody defeats the British, mate. Nobody. You reckon?
Listen, fella.
You tried once before and lost.
I'm going to tell you something. You're the one that's come over here on a rubber dinghy, fella. Don't tell us we're weak. Do you know what? Do you know what? Maybe some of the government are weak, but the British people aren't weak. And I'm going to tell you something. When we get the right government in power, you will be leaving the country way faster than you ever came to it. You'll be gone.
I will still be in this hotel. I will still be doing my thing.
You won't be in the hotel. You won't be in the hotel. No.
Yes,
You're not going to be in the hotel. The hotel's going to be closed. You want to eat your mouth.
Let me tell you, right? I'm getting rid of him, but I've got to tell you, right? Whoever that was, right? Let me just tell you.
He an Oscar. He wants an Oscar. That wasn't a migrant. That was just some nutcase.
I'll tell you what, mate.
Paul, how much do you pay Shohab to do that?
Oh, mate, that was funny. Let's bring Philip in. Philip, good evening, mate. How you doing? What did you make of that? It's got to be a fake, surely.
That is the biggest false flag attack since. Sorry, are you getting feedback there?
No, I'm all right, mate. A little tiny.
It was transparently transparently a false flag attack. I wouldn't put any stock into it.
Yeah, no.
It was Nick Lowes from Hope Not Hate.
I've got to tell you, right? It's good for the views, though. I mean, the views went crazy. So well done, whoever it was. Come back, immigrant. Come back another time. But
want you back on.
Why would he write his name as immigrant as well? Did he spell it properly as well?
Yeah, it's spelt right. Yeah.
Well done. Hope Not Hate. Well, great expose. You did a really good job with that rocket scientist, that engineer, or that doctor. I'm not sure which one he was.
You know the funny thing, I've got to tell you. I was going to say, I'll tell you the one that was getting to me. It weren't the migrant that was worrying me. It was Richard.
Mate, I was sharpening the knives. I was going to break up some weapons caches for that fella.
Do you know what, Richard? At one stage, he was getting I could see you getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I thought, I'm going to have to mute Richard in a minute, Right, let's bring Philip in because he's been waiting there for ages. Philip, how you doing, mate? Good evening.
Good, thanks for hosting me. You may recall when you were having lunch with someone and he was getting a bit of flack from the comments, I said I had some solutions to the NHS. Do you recall that?
I do vaguely, yes, mate. Yes, I do. Fire away.
Jolly good. Well, I do hope I can phrase this correctly. I've spent the last 5.5 years researching some little-known medicines from across the world. Now, I know this, right, looks very unimpressive, but I'd like to invite all three of you, if you're willing, a small challenge. This was popular back in the 1940s through to the 50s. I know it doesn't look like much, but do you three understand how pain works on the physiological level?
No, I would say no.
Okay. I'll preface everything here. I'm not a doctor. I'm not attempting to replace taking advice from one with what I'm about to say. So feel free to verify any of this or stress test. But if you get pain in the human system, what you get is a signal will originate in your body, travel up to your head. Another signal will travel back down to indicate the type, location, and the severity of pain. So that's pinching in the arm at moderate.
I get that. Yeah.
And these signals are electromagnetic in nature, as defined by the London Pain Clinic. So what I did was this. I invented something made of alternating layers of diamagnetic and ferromagnetic material that project a current. You can't see it with your own eyes, but it has such a close resemblance to the pain relief response, the body issues during pain relief, i.e. just scabbing or getting better or receiving anesthetic, that it can in many instances spoof pain relief signal and sort of psych you into not feeling anything. So I wanted to offer that if we were to shine a light on this, we could do some wonders for the NHS and take a large amount of strain off of it. I'm happy to answer any questions surrounding it.
Mate, can I just say something? Can I ask you, are you on the right show tonight?
Yeah, I'm on here to try and improve the state of England.
This isn't Dragon's Den.
No, Richard, hold on a minute.
No. I'm only following it was like that.
Okay, I was going to say, because I said tonight.
I'm only having a laugh.
Everyone. I would like to try it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I have pains, aches and pains, and some people say this stuff works. So who knows? I mean, I had acupuncture once, and you know what? To my surprise, it bloody worked. So who knows? That was
what was in the needles, mate.
But it's very applicable, and what I found out is there's probably women in your lives. I've been told of multiple people it's known to stop period pain, so it could do you some favors in that department, and I'm thankful to be here giving a brief discussion of it. What I wanted to tie this back to was we could do some good things for the NHS in place of having to spend large amounts on pain relief. If this was doled out to some of the easier jobs and simpler ones, we'd all be better off for it.
What sort of testing have you done on it, mate?
I'll level with you that I've not done any clinical testing in a lab. There is somebody who did, though, named Heiko Lasic. I'll probably pick that up in a moment. I've given it out to people and begun documenting people's experiences with it. They describe changes in temperature, changes in mood. I can attest to that myself. And I've got a view to getting a scientific paper written up within the next year, hopefully by April-ish.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see that when you do.
Brilliant. Is there any chance I could convince you to have a closer look? Or we could talk about
Sorry, just say that again. There's a bit of feedback coming through there, mate. Say that again.
Is there a chance you and I could talk about this outside of the show? I don't necessarily want to hog this space, but...
Yeah, no, potentially. I mean, drop me an email and, drop me an email. That's the best way forward, Philip, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. You have a lovely Christmas, and I look forward to seeing that. Let's have a little look. Let's bring in, I was going to say Rick. How comes you're only Rick tonight and not Rich?
No, listen. Well, I only came on to tell you about the demo that we did today.
Well, I want to hear about that. Richard, let me just see. Steve, you was there, was you, Steve?
Yeah, Steve was there.
Tell me about your experience today, Steve. Steve, you're cracking me up there. Yeah, we can hear you, mate. Can you hear me?
Well, I'm getting some technical issues here. I'm getting lag. I've got two screens. I've got echo and all sorts.
That's right, mate.
I say that you're the loudest speaker I've ever heard.
We've all got a bit of lag, Steve, at our age, mate.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Steve,
I've ever heard.
You can get a little blue tablet for that.
Steve, see that migrant guy that was in, that migrant guy had no leg whatsoever, so he had a better internet connection than you.
Well, what can I say?
Steve, did you enjoy the day?
I thought today was a fantastic experience. I loved every minute of it. Unfortunately, I didn't know that Tommy was going to be there, so I left before he came on the stage. And I'm really, really sorry about that. But can I say hello to Phil Ball? Hello. If you're there, if you're watching. I met him the other day and he told me that he saw me on your show. Now, Phil reckons that Advance stand absolutely no chance whatsoever of winning in the next election. Therefore, we all have to get behind Reform and support them 100%. But why should we support a party that absolutely hates us?
Absolutely.
Why should we support a party that thinks, we're that lot? Scum.
Yeah, totally.
And
totally.
the one thing that That's one point. But the other point I'd like to make is that I feel very, very disappointed that all the major religious denominations today blanked us and just threw us to one side. But as Tommy said, if Christ was there, he would be on our side.
Yeah, and he
was anti-establishment.
He was on our side today, Steve. 100%.
I'm going to play later on. I'm going to play a little bit. Byron, I tell you what, mate. I'm going to bring someone else on, but I want to bring you back on a little bit later. So will you stay in the back room for me?
Yep. No worries.
Is that okay, mate? I don't want you to go all together. So stay there. Let me bring in the Douglas of Murray. I like this. A little bit of multi-shows. Let me just. Not the Douglas Murray, I don't think, but the Sir Douglas of Murray. Let me just remove Byron for the moment. Can you hear me, mate?
Hello, Paul. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually disgusted by that person you had in from the hotel. I should probably just say the reason I'm not showing my face on camera is because I'm a mixed race individual who currently works for our armed forces. So it'd be probably best our gaffer doesn't see us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback from someone there. I think it might be yourself, mate. Have you got me playing in the background as well? Someone I'm getting a lot of feedback from, and it's not Steve.
I've got you in my earbud. Is that a bit better?
No, there's a lot of feedback coming through there, mate, unfortunately. But carry on. We'll go with it for the moment.
1 sec. Let me try to text this if I can. 2 seconds. Is that any better?
That's a bit better. Yeah. No, you don't want your boss to see. You know, I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
That.
So, like, I've been thinking ever since I saw it was Steve Laws on YouTube with Neil Tuflow.
With Liam Tufts?
Yeah, Liam Tufts, sorry. Yeah. And I just want to know, where do people like me actually sit? Where I'm obviously, Steve would see me as an other. I'm born here. I've got English blood in my veins. I will literally die for this country and our flag.
Well, in that case, let me tell you straight away, from my viewpoint, you're our brother.
Very welcome.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm just sick of the left and what they are doing. They are dividing
Steve Laws,
so many people.
Yep, Steve Laws is a vile racist ethnonat. He's a disgusting individual. He is a proper racist, and he's just as unwelcome as the hotel dweller, in my opinion. You know, and Liam did a good job of exposing him, because anyone that saw, because I spoke to Liam about this personally, about the Steve Laws interview, and he said, look, he says, what he did was shone light on what Steve Laws and the ethnonats believe, and it was absolutely abhorrent and disgusting, and most British people would reject it outright. And in fact, on this, the lefties stand closer to Steve Laws than anybody else does, because they believe in identity politics and splitting people down, you know, whatever race you are, whatever creed you are, whatever sexuality you are. That's what the left do. And that's what Steve Laws does. So they're both two sides of the same coin.
Let me say this. A minute ago, you said you would fight and die for this country. That makes you our brother. And your colour does not matter one bit.
Honestly, lads, you keep doing the great work you're doing.
Absolutely.
Can't thank you more than enough. Have a Merry Christmas. And if anyone wants to put up your Christmas trees, not season greetings trees.
God bless you, mate. And you know, don't ever wonder. Please don't ever wonder where you fit in here. You fit in with us.
Thank you very much. Have a very Merry Christmas.
And you, brother.
Yeah, you too, brother.
God bless you.
Well done serving as well. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, mate. God bless you. Take care. Well, powerful one, that one, powerful. Blitzer, how you doing?
Hi, Paul. Hi, Richie. Hi, everyone.
Hi, mate.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm not in the best of health the last month or so.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's fatigue or something underlying, but I haven't been the same since I got back from a brief holiday in London back in August.
Well, you catch anything in London these days. What's on your mind, mate?
Well, I just caught the end of that exchange of views with your anonymous guest. And
I think Richard's got something to do with this. I'll tell you,
no,
he's behind.
It's nothing to do with me. But let's assume he's legit and not some government agent provocateur or some lefty who's looking to stir up trouble.
It was Mossad. It was definitely Mossad.
Well,
and I got seven grand for that call.
I do appreciate the fact that he at least had the balls to come on here and let the cat out of the bag. No Takia, Kitman, or any of that nonsense. He said it straight and up front. You've got to respect that.
Well, the amount of money I give me had to.
I'd rather know who my enemies are and have my enemies in front of me than my enemies behind me.
Yeah, I agree. No, look, listen, I'll tell you now, right? If he was genuine, then I would give him the respect of letting him have his say. Otherwise, what's the point in allowing people? I believe in free speech. Let the geezer come on and have his say. Don't mean to say we're going to agree with him. In fact, I would like to assault with him, but I can't get a bloody word in edgeways when Richard's in the so. You know,
yes, I think David Lammy's going to send the cops after Richie for all that black smoke that's been coming out of his ears.
I'll tell you what. Look, do you know? I think it was Angela Rayner. That's who I think it was.
With a voice changer.
The ginger growler.
The ginger growler. Oh,
it could have been Diane Abbott.
So Steve, let me just go back to Steve for a moment. Steve, did you enjoy today then? You felt it was a heartwarming day? Is that how you felt about it? Yeah, enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Very, very spiritual. I'm sorry that I missed Tommy, but can we maybe get back to the point that my mate Phil Ball made?
Well, mate, carry on.
That Advance have absolutely no chance whatsoever of winning the next election, and we shouldn't even bother supporting them. We all need to get behind reform. But I mean, he says we're splitting the vote.
Is that the same reform that are losing hundreds of members?
Isn't it reformers?
Yeah, reformers splitting the vote. And I was going to say, is that the same reform that are currently losing hundreds of members every week that are hopping over to Advance? The latest one, just on my channel earlier on, a reform councillor has now defected. And by the way, I think she's watching tonight, Nikki, lovely girl, really a part of the future, just regular people getting involved in politics. So, no, it's not us that's splitting the vote, it's reform, because they're the people that should have been able to deliver, could have delivered, but decided not to. So, there you go.
Another point I'd like to make is that, Paul?
Go for it. Yeah, go for it, mate.
Another point I'd like to make is that I've been to a number of these United Kingdom events now, and one thing that concerns me, probably above all other things, is it's very, very difficult to find anybody south of 30. All the people there are north of 50. I mean, we ain't going to last forever. What happens once we're gone? Who's going to pick up the flag then?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a great point, Steve. But I think things
will still be around long after all the rest of us are gone.
Mate, I'm dreading my 30th birthday, to be honest with you. But there you go. Steve, I think you're absolutely right, but I think there is good news. What are you laughing at, cheeky? I think the good news is there are a lot of youngsters coming through, but the youngsters, there is a resurgence. What's the right word, Richard? A resurgence.
Resurgence.
There's a resurgence of patriotism, of Christianity, and it's only going to get better. Steve, I'm going to let you move out, mate, because I've got a lot of people to bring in. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry you missed Tommy today, but the benefit is you've got to come on and meet Richard.
See you Christmas Day.
See you Christmas Day, mate.
Christmas Day.
All the best to you, Steve. Thank you. God bless you, mate. Let me bring in Lee. Lee, good evening, brother. How you doing?
Oh, hello.
That's a rather nice looking flag you've got behind you there, mate.
You've got to keep one at hand at all times, haven't you? Just in
That's
case.
That's not in a hotel for sure, Lee.
No, it's my dining room. But I just want to say, Richard, thank you very much for firstly having me on. But your shows definitely keep me entertained on the evening, especially the wife as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, mate.
We do try. Do you know what, Lee? We do a lot of stuff tongue in cheek, so people have got to understand we are serious about our politics. We're serious about what we believe, but we like to have a bit of a laugh as well. And if people don't understand that, that's not on us. You know what I mean?
That's
Richard.
That's Richard's way of saying I'm a bit thick, but there you go.
You know your Men of England song, the wife. Every time we go by the drink or whatever, we're sitting in the house, we put it on. Like, not this again, but no, we need to keep playing it. We need to keep playing it.
Yeah, but you know, even at the last demo, we had literally thousands of people singing that song as it was played. It was absolutely incredible, and that was like before it was even released. So I mean, next year when we have the demo, when that song gets played, the place is going to be an absolute uproar. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
It's going to be amazing. No, can't wait.
And Lee, I'm going to get singing lessons. I'm going to sing it on stage at the next event.
Richard, I was just going to say, I think for the viewers, pop it in the chat, guys. Yes or no? Yes, for if you want Richard to sing Men of England on Christmas Day live on the show.
No, I need lessons, Paul. That's 2 weeks out, mate. I've not long enough to get the old baritone voice tune.
Richard, you're a former serviceman, mate. You should have a can-do attitude, right?
Mate. I wasn't in the Salvation Army, mate. I didn't get singing lessons when I was in the army.
Richard was in the SAS, right?
Saturday
I
and
was
Sundays.
in the SAS, the Stockings and Suspenders Appreciation Society.
I wasn't in the special force. I was in special needs, Paul. You know, I was going to battle in a yellow bus.
Lee, what's on your mind, brother?
Jeff, I'm calling from the West Midlands, and I'm a fellow Army veteran as well, Richard. So I did 14 years
stuff, Lee.
Brilliant, mate.
Brilliant, man.
We're members of Advance UK. The guys about everybody who supports Advance UK 50s and upwards. That's wrong. I'm in my 30s. My wife is one of the very first counsellors of Advance UK in Warsaw.
Awesome.
We'll say we're both in our 30s, and we're going to be driving the message very strong around our area and campaigning hard. Especially, we've got all our elections in May next year, so we've got a whole council with 60 seats up for grabs. So we're going to be doing what we can for that. Why one really was she had the fake migrant call come in, but for me, it brought in a couple of points. So, firstly, we've never really heard of a voice of anybody from the illegal migration point of view come on and explain the reasons why they're here. It'd be good to sort of work or hear their point of view, like why have they come to our country, why are they doing what they're doing, and then we can have debates going down that route of like, you know, we can maybe see it from their point of view. They might have genuine reasons, not genuine reasons, but we don't really hear any of the stories. So it was actually quite, although it was a fake call, it also highlighted its ruffling feathers as well. So things that we're doing.
Lee? Sorry to cut across. I'm not sure it was a fake call, Lee, to be brutally honest with you.
Well,
I think some of these people, exactly. Some of these people have enough of a brass neck to actually phone in and just pull our chain.
You know? It's hubris. But the thing with hubris, it's always followed by nemesis.
Yeah.
I tell you what I will say. The thing that put me off was his English was too good.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, if he was a doctor, an engineer, or a scientist, then his English would be good.
Yeah. And you know the score on that one. Let me read a couple of supers out. Jackie Lee, thank you very much. Put the link up, Paul. The link has been in. Thank you so much, Jackie. Cyberstorm 117, thank you. Did you see any of the Speaks Freely coverage of the digital ID protest today? I personally have not.
No.
Because I've been out with Danny from Spain all day. I've got to tell you, Danny's on the up. Send Beverly, thank you, Beverly. Sending my love to you, Danny, and Animal Lover. Yeah, Animal Lover. If you're in the show tonight, we are all with you. Phil, thank you. Hello, Shouty Man. You are amazing today. He's obviously referring to you, Richard. There's only one shouty
well
man.
Could well be.
It could well be. David,
well,
too
Phil, good seeing you today, mate.
David Lund, too easy in it. Treason. Thank you, mate. Jackie Lee again. Ask him how long he has been here. I'm running a bit behind with these chats. Jackie again. This bloke ain't real, fake caller. I agree, Jackie. I think he was a wrong one. Sydney, please donate this to the legend Richard is. Please donate this to the legend Richard is. Legend, that reads, Richard, not legend. Thank you very much, Sydney. I will do. Minus tax, less VAT, less my percentage. He gets about £1.30.
No, I have to pay Paul for that tenner. I have to pay Paul £1.50.
Sheila Miller, thank you, Sheila. Paul, I'm sure that immigrant was that fake cop I put in on an accent. I'll tell you what, Sheila, he can come on anytime. He's great for the algorithm.
This is the whole point. It's fantastic.
It's entertainment. But you know the next thing, people will be saying, I've got someone to do that. Alan, 54, if you're calling in, turn off your YouTube. Good point, Alan. Thank you very much if you are calling in. David Lund explains Ben's Oldham candidate. I'm a bit behind.
Right, okay. I think I know what he's talking about there. He's talking about the issue with Rajamir. There's a to say there's a massive crossed wire there would be a complete understatement. No candidates have been selected. Okay, there's no branches in Oldham, and again, it's something. Raja has got totally the wrong end of the stick, and I respect him hugely, but he's got 100% the wrong end of the stick on any formation of any branch in Oldham, because there are no branches yet. Nothing's been appointed, nothing's been done anywhere throughout the country. People are joining, policies getting formed, the base has been built. So again, no disrespect to Raja, there may be people that are trying to join Advance and trying to be candidates that are wrong. And if that's the case, Raja, get on the phone to the leadership or get on the phone to me or Paul Thorpe and let us know what's going on. We'll have a chat with you about it. And I'm not leadership, but I can certainly have a chat with Raja, no problem whatsoever. So if he sees this, let him know. Because I want to talk to him anyway about the Barelvi tribal system.
Thank you very much for that, Gladys. You are an absolute angel. Thank you. That's up to date with the supers. Lee, is there anything else you want to add, or let's have a little look? Blitz up, because I've got other people waiting to come in. So, Lee, was there anything you wanted to add there, mate?
Yeah, just before we tuned into your live, we were watching the feedback from the Tommy Robinson Christmas Carol concert in London. So that literally fed nicely. That finished, and then we start with this. But for me, I was watching that, and even sat watching how emotional it was. Like, even a grown man, been to war, all that sort of stuff. I still sat there, and it's still really hard to fight back the tears. And that's something that's really powerful. And I haven't, it's very, very rare you feel those moments. And what he's doing out there and bringing the people together, whether you like him or don't like him, it's powerful. It's really resonating with people. And you wouldn't get people in the 30s, 20s, but just sat there watching Christmas carols on a Saturday night. And I was sat there watching Christmas carols with tears down my face on a Saturday night. Don't afraid to admit it.
Let me tell you something, boys. I've got something to tell you about that. I've got about, in my phone, I have hundreds and hundreds of people. And among those people are a number of people that I class as very good friends who are not on side with the movement. And they remain my friends because they are deep down, they're lovely human beings. I believe that they are misguided in their beliefs. And I sent them all of that. Richard, this is starting to look like the beginning of an adult film there. Can you stop?
Well, we're all consenting adults here, Paul. Don't knock it until you tried it, mate.
Oh, blimey. I don't want someone coming in a minute dressed up as a teammate offering you a room service. I sent them all that clip of that video earlier on and said, now tell me we're on the wrong side of history.
Well, I think the highlight of that whole event wasn't any of the speakers. All the speakers were absolutely fantastic. Tommy was fantastic. The singing was fantastic. But the highlight was the little girl who was maybe 8 years old, who stood up and my goodness, gave the speech of the year. It was just everybody. There was tears running down everybody's faces. It was like something out of, I don't know, Oliver Twist or A Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
it was just absolutely.
We're going to play it. Richard, I've got to stop you. We got a very, very special guest sitting in the background there. I can see his name is Paul Thorpe, right? And I'm going to bring him in. Let me bring him in. Hold on a minute. There you go, Paul. Here you go, Paul. How you doing? Mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How you doing, mate? Yeah, I've got a question for the viewers, so and for you lot.
I'm looking a bit older now, Paul.
Are we going to? Yeah, I just wanted to say, with the march of Tommy and all of that, and the Christian values, Christmas carols, what Christian values are you going to adopt, and which ones are you not? Because if we adopted a lot of the things Jesus preached, I don't think we would be outside hotels, would we? I don't know.
What a good point, Paul.
Are we supposed to accept other human beings as our equals under God? Jesus himself was a Palestinian refugee. I very much doubt he would be outside these hotels telling them all to go back home. It would be welcoming them with open arms, would he not?
Sorry, can I just correct you there? Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Palestinian. Palestinians didn't exist until the 1960s.
His mum was Palestinian.
No. His mum was a Jew.
Yeah, but his mum was from what is... his mum was from what is now called Palestine.
What is now...
You know who called it?
I'm sorry. I am going to correct this man here. His mother is from what is now called Judea and Samaria, that the Palestinian scumbags are trying to occupy. That's where his mother lived, in Beth. Well, his mother wasn't from Bethlehem. She was in Nazareth, which was in Judea and Samaria. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, which is now occupied by Palestinians. So Jesus was not a Palestinian. He was Jewish. His mother was Jewish. His whole lineage is Jewish. Look at the genealogies in Matthew and Luke. You'll find out.
And by the way, Paul,
wasn't.
Paul, by the way, right, I don't chew gum, right? So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you, right? I'm going to just for your sheer front of your actions here and having a bit of a jolly. I'm going to give you, right, hold on, where are we, if I can find it? I'm going to give you a thumbs up. I reckon that's a bit cheeky, but I'm going to kick you out. Because I don't do my own AI. The next thing, he'll have a picture of me and Richard snuggling up in a men's club somewhere.
Paul, do you know what, mate? That picture's not going anywhere, Paul. You said it wasn't going to go anywhere.
I'll tell you what. Wait, what did I say?
That AI made you look 10 years younger.
I thought I looked bloody awful.
I thought you looked great in that AI, mate. You look 10 years younger.
Oh, dear.
I tell you what, do you know the amount of people I've got to troll you tonight, Paul? It's off the chart.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though, Richard, it's not done with viewing figures too bad. By the way, guys, can you please give me a thumbs up? There's been like 2,000 people watching, and I don't even know how many thumbs up I've got. I got moaned at yesterday for being a grifter for asking people to subscribe to the channel. Now, I don't know about you, Richard, but the last time I looked, you don't get paid for subscribers, right?
No,
dear.
Not at all.
What are they like? Right, boys, I'm going to let you two go because I want to bring in some new guests who have been sitting there waiting patiently.
Paul,
thank you.
Now, Lee's been great and the other guy's been great, but these other guests are traumatising me, mate. That Paul Thorpe zombie was scary, man.
Yeah,
that was a Paul Thorpe zombie. I'm going to have nightmares about that.
You know, the bit that annoyed me was he was chewing gum, cheeky bit. Guys, thank you so much. You've been absolute superstars. Brilliant having you on. Thank you for coming on. All the best to you, mate. Have a great Christmas. Love to your wife and your family.
Really, God bless, man.
Keep up the good work and thank you for your service. Let's have a little look. We've got Be Kind, who is coming in without a
here we
camera
go.
on. So here we go. Be Kind.
Buckle up, Paul.
Can you hear me? No, he's gone.
No.
He's gone. No, they've lost their bottle.
He's
Jimmy,
back.
how you doing?
Paul,
how you doing, mate?
Here?
I can hear you.
Right. Right, Paul, just a little bit of advice, right? To use something different if you want to try it.
Yeah.
It's called Prism Live Studio, and you can do things like this. What's it called?
What's it called?
Prism Live Studio.
Live Studio.
I haven't got a pen. Hold on a minute. Richard, can
Prism.
you write that down?
Mate, do I look like I've got a pen?
No, Richard, to be fair, you don't look like you've got a home.
Well, at the minute I don't have, mate.
It's called Prism
I'll find out tomorrow if I got home.
Nikki Brown, our reform councillor up there in Doncaster, reform advance, forgive me, our advance councillor up there in Doncaster says, please say hi to Richard for me. There you go.
Hi there, mate. How are you?
No, Nikki, Richard. Nikki.
Well, that could be a bloke. That could be a bloke. It could be Nicholas.
You know what, mate? Honestly, right. Let me get back to this important point of what's going on with this studio thing. What's it called again?
Prism Live Studio. Get the Prism
Right,
Live Studio.
Let me get me. Is it easy to use? Is it idiot proof?
Yeah, it's very easy, Paul. Very easy, mate. Very easy.
Idiot proof, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll test it then, Paul.
Yeah, Richard, can you test that for me?
By the way, there, Richard.
In fact, you could get Danny to test it first.
Richard, I think
Sorry,
you're
go
a piece of shit. I think you're a fucking idiot, and I think you need to go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's great. I love you too.
Is that for real?
Yeah, for real.
I tell you what. Do you know what? I love these people that come and say it to your face. Next time there's a demo, come and say it to my face, mate. Jimmy or whatever his name.
I don't know what that's all
Paul,
about.
you're getting trolled tonight, mate. You're getting trolled.
No, do you know what? Jimmy's been on before. He's been fine.
Well, he's a bit of a wanker, in my opinion.
He's been on before. I don't know what that's all about. Let's bring Byron back in. Byron, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. I just wanted to say something about Rich, and I say this to a lot of people, and Rich doesn't get even a smidgen of the respect or anything. The amount of work I've seen this guy put into these rallies from day one, even going back in the old videos. You have a look at the old videos of Tommy and that before the Unite the Kingdom came along, and you see Rich, he's always there, always getting everyone, orchestrating everything, the man of the hour. He's always there, and he doesn't get the respect or the thanks, that the gratitude that he deserves. He really don't. And I really do want to say thanks, Rich, because you do a lot for these rallies. You really do, and you don't get the credit you deserve, mate. You really don't.
I appreciate that, mate. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for fame. That guy there that just come on and slabbered. Seriously, I will offer you out to a duel, right? To a white collar boxing match. Seriously, in fact, I'll go even better. A white collar mixed martial arts match. Let's find out who that guy is. Bona fide, get him, and I'll have a fair dig with him. I mean that genuine. Do you know what? I'm sick of it, Paul, because I'm sick of these scumbags coming on attacking me, attacking you, attacking other patriots that are putting our necks on the line, putting our families on the line, you know, destroying our businesses, destroying our finances. And some little, I'm not going to swear on the channel, but some little scumbag comes on and gives us that sort of abuse. If he wants to front me, come and see me face to face. I'm not difficult to find.
Do you know what? I don't understand, Richard. The guy's been on before, and he's
obviously whatever. You know, if he wants to, he's a Geordie lad. If he wants to come and see me, that's the way people in the Northeast sort it out. No problem. Don't care if he's 25, 35. Don't care who he is. I'll see him, because that's really annoyed me.
I reckon it was something probably to do with the politics. Maybe.
Well, I don't care. He's probably either a goose stepper or a lefty. I don't care. I'm not interested. I'm sick of it. You know, sick of these people that have no idea who I am and what I've done. You know, just gobshiting themselves.
Look, Byron's absolutely right. I mean, you know, look, I think of all the people within the movement that I've been close to since I became, it has been Richard, and no one does more, or has done. I mean, Richard, I'd go as far as saying this: Richard has saved lives.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. On more than one occasion,
saved lives, and you know, a lot of people owe him a debt of gratitude, which, as you said, you know, isn't always you know, necessarily forthcoming. But look, the people that matter know. That's the bottom line. The people that matter.
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
The people that matter know. That's for sure.
By the way, I'm going to say something now, right? And I'm not going to mention who, but there was buckets went round today, right, for Tommy's event, and there's been a lot of scumbags have been making all sorts of accusations about the buckets. Now, I haven't been told to say this, I haven't been prompted, but I know for a fact that all the money that went from those buckets is going to go to a survivor of the grooming gangs. I know that for a fact, right? And I'm not going to say who the person is. I'm not going to say what the circumstances are, but so when people are attacking Tommy, because they attack me, they attack Tommy, they've attacked Paul Thorpe, they've attacked everybody that's trying to push the agenda forward, right? And, you know, that's happening, right? I know that's happening, okay? And I think it's absolutely despicable, these scumbags, and we all know who they are, that have been nibbling at us, attacking Tommy, attacking me, attacking everybody around Tommy, attacking Paul, attacking good, hard-working patriots that have got a plan and know what they're doing. And these scumbags, and they are scumbags, have tried to wreck our lives, they've tried to destroy us, and we've got to call them out. And I think pretty soon, if they keep doing what they're doing, we will call them out. We'll name them and shame them. If they want to keep doing what they're doing, they'll be named and shamed. And then, you know, that's up to them. They you know, you've got to live with the consequences of what you do and the way you behave towards people.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, Richard. You know, I agree with everything you said there, and I've got to tell you that in my time within the movement, which is relatively short. I mean, it's still not even 2 years yet, right? But in that time, I've seen some vile acts from people towards yourself, towards me, towards other people in the movement.
And that's why I'm not tolerating that little scumbag who just basically slandered me.
And lying,
and lying. Yeah. You know, that guy doesn't know me. That guy, and I tell you what, I bet he doesn't front me. I bet you if I would put £1 million on him, never even accepting the offer that I put out there. I'm a 57-year-old man, right?
The upsetting part is, Richard. The upsetting part is, and if to be honest with you, if it wasn't live and you wasn't a friend of mine, I would like to have got to the bottom of why you felt like that, but I don't think a live is necessarily the best place to do that.
Why even give someone like that the oxygen of publicity? How can somebody come on your channel, Paul, right, and abuse one of your regular guests and then just disappear off because they haven't got the balls to...
I kicked him off, Richard.
Okay. Well, get me his email address and I'll have a correspondence with him and see him and set something up.
Yeah, I kicked him off out of respect for you. I'm not going to sit there and have someone slag you off in front of the world. But what I would like to know is why he feels like that. Because however, for me, whatever the reason is that he feels like that, he's got it wrong and it needs explaining to him.
No, you can't explain to stupid. That man's a moron. Right, that man's a moron.
Sometimes. I had a guy earlier on today slagging me off something wrong in the comments, right? And I got talking to him and I said, my response to him was, why do you feel the way you feel about me, right? Tell me why. And we got a little bit of a dialect going on the comments. And by the end of it, he apologised to me and he said, Paul, I've seen a different side of you that I hadn't seen before. You know, and I said, mate, listen, no hard feelings, right? I like to clear stuff up. If someone's got an opinion of me that is clearly wrong, I like to clarify. If someone doesn't like me for a good reason, that's fine. I'll accept that. Nobody's perfect. I'm sure there's things about me. There's definitely things about you, Richard, because you annoy me sometimes. There's things about all of us that some people might dislike. But it's only healthy if it's for a good, valid reason. right? That's my belief. I always like to find out what the problem is. That's just my own personal view. Let me bring in Henry. He's sitting there with a brilliant pair of shades. How you doing, Henry?
Not too bad, mate. How you doing?
I'm all very well, thank you very much.
Good.
What's on your mind?
I just wanted to follow up on what.
That's another AI, Paul. That's another bot. That's another bot.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
It's a bot.
No,
That's AI.
Rich, wait, hold up.
So I wanted to follow up on what that last bloke said.
Here you go, Paul.
So Jesus was a refugee, though, wasn't he? And so, like, I just want to read out a few things. It's only 5.
That's definitely an AI generated image. That's not a real person.
If someone wants to come on and be a real person, that is fine, but we are not going to get into AI. Okay?
How are they doing this? Because I've never seen. I thought that Paul Thorpe guy. I genuinely did think for a second that there must have been a guy that looked like you and sounded like you. That's why you called him Paul Thorpe. I thought he was a genuine person who you knew.
No. You know, I could see what it was. I thought it was someone going to come in and have a laugh and a joke, but you know,
I ain't got my glasses on, mate. But
I think. Look, I think the bottom line is, Paul. I'm going to shoot off now because I'm in pretty bad form. But the bottom line is, you know, I came on here to tell you about the event that we're at, right?
Yes, please do, Rick.
Well, I mean, because of all those idiots, you know, to be honest with you. You know, it's really annoying that you're wasting time with people like that because they're absolute waste of spaces. Do you know what I mean? And they shouldn't have the oxygen of publicity. They don't deserve to be on your show. You've got a great show, Paul. They don't deserve to be on it. You need to find some way of vetting them because they're just total wrong-uns. You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know
what? Going down the line, Richard, we may well have to do that. You know
that there needs to be. You need to either put a delay on it, Paul, or something, because you know what they'll do. They're trying to provoke a reaction, right? Now I've been up since about 5 this morning or something. Got down to the demo probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Been on the ground till probably 7 o'clock tonight, sorting all sorts of things out. And the disrespect those people showed to you and to me. Now we're nobody. I'm not trying to say we deserve respect. But if I was going to go on someone's show, Paul, I would go as myself because I never hide my face. I never sit in a shaded studio like a coward. And you know, if I was going to go and front those people, you know, the left or whatever, I would do it. But these people that are coming on and taking liberties, they don't deserve to be on your channel. And they might get a few extra clicks, but they devalue it.
Yeah, no, they'll soon be gone, Richard. As soon as I suss them out, they're gone.
But the event was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, Christ was lifted up. It was a great celebration of Christianity. Tommy was so emotional about the whole thing. Absolutely blew him away. And he was very straight. Tommy got on the stage. He says, look, I'm a sinner. He says, I know what I am, as we all did, right? Mm-hmm. And he says, I've got struggles. He says, but you know what? I'm a Christian and I'm doing my best to follow Christ, right? I'm paraphrasing. That's not exact, but it's pretty much what he said, right? When he stood up and spoke. Everybody else that gave testimony said exactly the same things. So the music and you had to be there. Byron, you were there, mate.
You can see. You can see that the spirit was there. I wasn't able to go today, but I was able to see just from the video, the spirit was there. The Holy Spirit was with you.
Exactly. It was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, there wasn't one arrest. The atmosphere there was 3 demos there today. In fact, 4. There was a Palestinian one. There was one with the lefties. There was one with the ID people. And then there was the carol service. And I've never seen anything like that event. It was, Tommy said it. Tommy summed it up. He said it was beautiful. A beautiful event. There was no ag between anyone. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Superb.
I totally agree with you, Richard. And you know what? The cheek of that fella, he's riled me up, mate. Do you know what? You, Paul, Danny, and all that, you know, you're the most genuinest people that I know, honestly. You know what? And he's bad mouth. I'll get in the ring with a fella any day. Literally, I really would.
Me too. I'm not a young man anymore, but I tell you what. Yeah. And I bet he's never put a pair of boxing gloves on his life or ever stood toe to toe with anyone. You know. I see at the end when that girl said what she said, right? With Tommy and that, and I swear to God, I had tears rolling down my face. I couldn't hold them in. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
Everyone
magic.
did.
It was amazing.
Richard, good evening, Linford, by the way. Richard, have you got 5 minutes? I want to play that clip from today.
Please do, please do. And then we'll talk about it. Because what I want to do, Paul, we had a beautiful day, and these scumbags that's come on, they've riled me up, right? And I was in really good form. That's why I came on tonight, because I wanted to tell you about what happened. And those people have kind of put a bit of a damper on it. So play that wee girl.
Don't let that happen, Richard. Let's have a little look at this. So I'm just going to go and make a quick cup up. Well, watch this.
And betrayed by the church and away from Christianity. As I knew the Quran and I knew Islam, and I didn't know the Bible and I didn't know Christianity. But as I started understanding the Bible and the pastor done lessons with me for the life of Jesus, I understood that Jesus would have stood against the establishment. He would have stood with the sinner. He would have stood, and I'll be honest, I found it hard to even betray myself or say I'm a Christian, because I know I live a life of sin. But then I realised that Jesus stood with the sinners. So I've been on my own path, and today, I've stood there and watched every second of this. It's been the most beautiful moment, standing there watching every minute of it. And moments like this bring me closer to faith. So I'd like to thank every one of you, because it's been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I say, people say, why are we here today? We're here to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. And every one of us, including myself, need to ask what that means to us. What does it mean that Jesus lived for us? He died for us. He rose again. And every one of us, I struggle. I struggle again just because I live a life of sin, and I struggle with it. But then I realise we all do. So I'd like to thank everyone that's come today. I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I'd like to see, this? Let this be the foundation. You see, next year, we're going to get a website up very soon with the help of Ricky and his team. Yeah? We're going to start planning next year's Christmas celebration. We're going to fill Trafalgar Square. This is going to become Unite the Kingdom's yearly event. People are going to travel from across Europe and across the world to take part in putting Christ back in Christmas every year in London, in Great Britain. I think only standing here today, I know many of you are watching this at home. You have to be here to feel what has happened. Something great is happening. And I've seen it at each one of our Unite the Kingdom events, as I saw the cross start playing prevalence, as I saw Jesus is King. And I felt something happening, and I felt it again today in this moment. This moment will live with me. I'm going to remember it forever. So it's been beautiful. I thank everyone that's come. And just, if you're one of the people, this wasn't free. This cost money. This wouldn't have happened without the people who supported this at home. I want to thank the people that made this possible today. You made it possible. We didn't make it possible. And again, girls, you were unbelievable, man. You've got a very proud mum there. I stood there watching her look up at you. Everyone. And for Speaker's Corner, Bob. Because, as I was pushed away from Christianity, and then I saw Bob. And then I saw Bob. And as I watched him, I felt it. And in every one of these preachers today, you can feel it. You can feel the belief. You can feel the passion. You can feel something. And as I watched Bob's masculine Christianity, I thought, now I'm listening. I think, Bob, you probably opened so many eyes. But, just to everyone today, this has been a beautiful moment, man. So God bless everyone. God bless you all. Lift her over. Hey, come on. We're going to sing Silent Night. Ready? We're going to sing this one together. Silent Night. Take the lead. We've got one more speaker.
Hello all. I would like to say Merry Christmas. God is watching, very, very proud of us as we all stand today. I am very, very grateful of Tommy Robinson for organising this. Otherwise, I would not have hope in our Patriots to do this today. All I want to say is God is in our veins, whether you like it or not. God gives us adrenaline. Wherever we are, God gives us adrenaline. God is with us. Wherever you like it, wherever you are, pray to God and He will come to you and He will enter your life and He will save your life. Amen.
Amen.
The Bible says that the Lord will put His word in the mouth of babes. That was amazing. So one more time, we want to say thank you to Tommy and the team and everyone. Let's put our hands together for putting this together. We want to...
Wow.
It's just amazing. The spirit's there. You could see it, feel it.
Yeah. You know, I literally had hairs standing up listening to that again on my body. It's just, you can't not feel that passion and that intensity that's there. You know, it was just beautiful. It was just so heartfelt.
And to hear those words from Tommy as well.
Yeah.
What come out of his mouth, just you would never think you would see that, and you'd never see that on GB News or any other news channel. And to see him say and profess, or his claim, or to profess his faith in Christ, that is just beautiful. And I think everyone's been waiting for that.
Paul knows, you know, if it wasn't for Tommy, you know, I probably wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have the connection that I have with Jesus. Let me tell you that without going into detail, you know, and Paul knows what I'm talking about, you know, because Tommy really, really helped me, you know, to connect not only with myself, but to connect with Jesus, you know, and that connection is unbreakable.
Yeah,
you know, it really is.
Once to establish it, it is. I remember June the 1st, the first ever Unite the Kingdom rally, on my previous YouTube channel before it got removed. And it was filled with comments because Bob from Speaker's Corner was on the stage. And it's the first time any Christian preacher had come on the stage at a patriotic event. And he proclaimed Christ is King. And the comments, I had this one guy, I'll never forget, he said, I come all the way from Glasgow to attend London's event.
Wow.
He said, and I've been an atheist. And he said, but when that bloke from Speaker's Corner, Bob, came on, he said, I felt something. He said, I don't know what it was, but I felt something. And he said, and I can really say I've come home and I'm now a Christian. And when I typed in Christian and apologetics, your name come out, I've subscribed, and he come and he's telling me about it, and it's true. Tommy is literally like a modern day saint, and I genuinely believe in 30 to 40 years time there will be a statue of Tommy in London or somewhere. There will be, I reckon there will be a statue. He will be remembered, and he will go down in history.
Only if we win, though, Byron. We've got to win. We've got to win. So we don't win.
Let me bring Richard back in for a moment. Richard, I want to thank you as well for your efforts today. You know, you travelled all the way from Northern Ireland to be there. As always, you know, you are a stalwart. You are the backbone of this movement in many respects. I know that you are a Christian, Richard, you know, a practicing Christian. What did that mean to you today to see that? Because I thought probably of everything that's happened over the last few years, for me, that was one of the most powerful moments today.
I think so, Paul. I think it was the best demo we've ever done. Even though the numbers weren't anywhere near what we had on the 13th of September, it was the best demo we've ever done because it wasn't about what people think we're about. It showed what we're really about, which is British culture, Christianity, love, peace. You know, that's why I was getting so annoyed with those people coming on and you know, and again, when you're tired, you can sometimes react a bit, you know, not the way you would normally react if you were fully, you know, fully energized. But it was just an amazing thing. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I've never, you know, like that was at people got to remember where that was. That was the gates of Downing Street. Now I'm going to tell you something, right? I said to someone, I don't know whether I said it out loud or whether I just thought it to myself, but I said it today. I said, this is going to scare Downing Street way more than us putting 1 million people on the street, because what that was a message of peace and love. How can anybody really fight against that? Yeah. Because that showed what we're really about.
They'll try, Richard. Richard, they will try. You know that.
Well, I mean, we've already had those scumbags on tonight trying to dish it and dish us. Yeah. But I mean, the reality is they won't win that, because if you saw the spirit that was present there and what that spirit represents, which is everything that's good, everything that's kind, everything that's loving. You know, the Spirit of God Himself. That's what was represented today in Whitehall, Downing Street, and
that's what filled them all. And Tommy, who was filled with it, you could see it dripping out of him. He was crying.
You know, it was an amazing day. It was, and look, it still had its challenges. There was still there's always, you know, little niggles here and there, but on the whole, it was, you know, it was the most peaceful. Just an incredible day, day.
And just for the record, Richard, because I know that people get on your back. How much was you paid for today's event?
Today's event cost me probably. Well, I gave a gift to a certain person that I knew was struggling, so including that and my flights, and obviously my friend who I stay with here is always very kindly puts me up, so that saves me some money. But it's probably cost me 500-600 quid.
That's some grift you got going on there, Richard.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not very good at it, am I? I'm not a very good grifter.
You'll have to.
Well, okay. Well, let me put that in context. Let me put that in context. Yeah, how to lose money being a patriot. Let me put that in context. My total earnings from I'll be straight. My total earnings from YouTube last month was £700, and I've spent 500 on that trip today.
There you go. So just for all the warriors out there, Scooby-Doo says, I was there today and got to shake Richard's hand. I hope you washed it, by the way, when you got home. At last, as he was leaving with Tommy, please pass this on. Sorry,
Paul.
Rich,
Paul's a dreadful man.
Rich, I can't resist it. I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you something, Paul. The people that hugged me and shook my hand, they will not be washing for at least a month.
Yeah,
they'll be treasuring. They'll be treasuring that moment, Paul.
Well, the good news is, Richard. I've heard there is a vaccine, so that's the good news. Jackie.
Yeah, watching ITV. Watching ITV is the vaccine.
Jackie has put in a joke. Here's one for Richard. Mickey Mouse goes to his solicitor. He said, "Mr. Mouse, you've got no grounds to divorce Minnie because she's got protruding teeth." Mickey said, "I didn't say she was." Jackie. Sharon, there's only one full piece. Sharon, thank you. God bless you. You are a lovely soul. Thank you. Phil, thank you very much. Richard Inman saved me. There you go, Richard.
Bless.
A true
you,
hero.
Bless
true
you,
hero. 1-0. Thank you. That twat should shit himself if Richard met him face to face.
I think he probably would.
Tony, that bloke was rude to Richard. Ignore it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I look at it like this. One of the reasons that me and Richard are a good team is that we're chalk and cheese in many ways. Richard is like, right, let's go, let's have it, right? And I'm a little bit more chilled, a little bit laid back. That's another expression for old, right? And I'm just a little bit more relaxed about it.
Well, I'm not sure if I shared it the other night on the stream. I know I shared it with you personally, Paul, but I found out that my great grandmother was Irish, and she did time in prison in Wexford for a fray, which I think is absolutely magnificent because it explains so much about the way I am.
You know all about it, don't you? Lee, thank you very much. Thank you for having me on first time live. Really enjoyed it. Sharon, thank you. Richard, we love you, mate, and you have a heart of gold. It does.
Thanks, Sharon. Bless you.
Indeed.
Bless you, sister.
Janine says, Rich is right about provoking a reaction. I commented today on the Facebook from Shoaib and have been called an effing racist and a transparent supremacist.
There you go.
Janine, there you go. That's what that. I've got to be honest with you, Janine. That's one of the reasons they don't bother me, because they're all idiots. And there's no point, I don't waste my energy on idiots,
I reckon today's success really upset them that much that they have come onto your channel this evening to just really try and put a spoil to it.
Yeah, and create those little AI bots.
I mean, I speak for many people. You know what? Thank you for everything that you do, and Paul, and and Tommy, and Danny, and all the rest of the people behind the scenes. And what I loved, seeing Tommy's face being filled with the Spirit today, the Holy Spirit. And you know what? When Danny done a live earlier, he had a cross and a cross on around his neck. You know what? And when he was chatting and he was holding that, and he was saying about how he felt comfort having that around his neck. Do you know what? It's powerful. This is powerful. And there's a revival going on.
There is. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. And I mean, we couldn't have talked about this 7 years ago when we first started. Yeah. And I mean, one of my big errors was I made a conscious decision not to talk about it. I think in hindsight, that was probably a mistake. But look, none of us are perfect. And the reality is, what this is about showing people that there's a different way to live, and that Christianity is real and Christianity is true. And listen, it's like Tommy said it, we're all sinners. We're all sinners. Yeah. But if we're coming to Christ, we're going to be changed. We'll still be sinners, but we'll be different to what we were before, and we'll be sinners saved by grace. And that's what it's all about. And that's the message. It was just an amazing message today. And every single testimony was powerful. And if people reject that, that's up to them. People want to mock it and reject it. And that's completely up to them. But
we are now in a position where Christianity becomes essential for everyone. David, have some well-earned rest, Richard. And Welsh lady says, don't take any notice of that Muppet, Richard.
No, it got under my skin a bit. Welsh lady, listen, it's gone. I don't care about it. We'll just ignore it from now on. Just a pathetic.
Sydney, there's another $5 for you, Rich. Rich, that's only 50p you owe me now. Thank you.
I know, mate. I know. I'm nearly breaking. I'm nearly. No, listen. I do appreciate that actually, but I'm nearly breaking even now, Paul.
boy, I'm going to bring Linford and Byron. I'm going to bring some more guests in, if you don't mind.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Richard.
For coming on. Always
all the best, Linford. All the best. See you guys. God bless you both.
God bless you both. All the best, mate. Have a good Christmas.
Good seeing you guys.
Let me bring in Ian. Ian, good evening.
Hello there.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's on your mind, my friend?
So you enjoyed the Christian thing, yeah?
We did, yeah. I thought it was very powerful. Very powerful indeed.
Yeah. I wanted to pick up on something
that someone
said earlier.
1 second, let me just mute this right there. Yeah, go on, carry on.
One of the previous guests was about to say stuff about Christian values. So I think they are love. Yeah, so love everyone, Jesus said, didn't he? It's about compassion, help people when they're suffering, mercy. Don't be thirsty to punish people, and remember to forgive them. But forgiveness is one of the biggest tenets of Christianity. Also, humility. Don't have a big ego, and stand up for the weak. Justice. Also, honesty and truth, and service to others. Christian life ain't about what you get; it's about who I can help. Yeah, and it's about peace and non-violence. And so I kind of agree with that geezer who was talking about, does Tommy and all of them people really have these values? Do they live by these values? Because I think not. Just
why do you think not? Why do you think not?
Based on how they treat other demographics, particularly refugees and asylum seekers.
Okay, and how's Tommy treated refugees and asylum seekers?
By encouraging people to say send them back. He demonizes them, and so do all of these protesters outside the hotels. They also have false beliefs about they're all coming from countries where it's okay to have sex when you're 8.
Sorry, sorry. Can I just? You've had a very good say there. You've made your points very clearly.
Yeah.
Did you see the news last week about the 2 Afghan migrants that raped the 15-year-old girl in the park?
Yes.
Okay. Would she have been raped if they hadn't come in the country?
Probably
by those men. No, she wouldn't have been raped. So the other issue with this is, yes, absolutely, Jesus tells us to love our enemies, but how can you, as a state and as a society, love your enemies when your country's been degraded and destroyed by the left? I don't know what your political stance is, but by the left, by the Fabian Society, by people like Keir Starmer, and by the Tory governments, who have systematically, since Margaret Thatcher, degraded everything about British industry. The coal mines were closed under Thatcher. You've got the Labour Party doing exactly the same thing with the green agenda. So the migrants are one part of the bigger problem. The problem is we're being governed by people that hate us. The people that run our country hate the British people. The Labour leadership hates the British. Well, I haven't finished saying what I'm saying. The Labour Party hate the British people. You can tell by the way they behave. They've done nothing to stop the migrants crisis. Can I just ask, do you own a house?
Why do you want to know that?
Well, it's just a question. I'll tell you, I own a house. Do you own a house?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Okay. Aspirationally, would you like to own a house?
Well, I'm not going to say.
Would you like to have a family?
I don't see my.
No, I tell you why these things are relevant. Would you like to own a house? And I don't know how old you are. Would you like to own a house and have a family?
Can I just respond
to that question? I want you to respond to that question. Would you like to own a house and have a family?
Well, I already do. There you go. That's good.
Okay, you already do. Okay. Now, a lot of younger people, I don't know how old you are, a lot of younger people cannot afford to get on the property ladder.
Yes.
And the reason they can't afford to get on the property ladder, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is that rents and property prices are going through the roof because of the migrant crisis. Now, these people coming across, sorry, let me finish. These people coming across on dinghies are not refugees. A very small number of them might be.
How do you know?
Well, that's the point, isn't it, my friend? We don't.
Hang on a minute.
No, hold on a minute. Let me finish. They're throwing their no. They're throwing their passports over. But no, I'm making a very pertinent point, because that's what they do. They throw their passports over. They throw their passports.
Show me some evidence.
Yes, we have got. Oh, listen. There's absolutely documented evidence.
Right, boys. Please stop. Right, listen, I've got to referee this. Richard's putting a great point over. Ian has been brave enough to call in, so I want one at a time, please. I would really appreciate that, because I can't listen to two of you shouting at each other. Ian, do you want to respond to what Richard has said so far? Because for me, he's made.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I want to come in, because I want you to explain.
Yeah,
because I think Richard is making some superb points that are absolutely correct. Right. But to be fair to you, I want you to answer them one at a time. So far away.
Okay, so going back to the migrant thing, so he brought up someone getting raped by a couple of them. Yes, that's true. And some of them have committed crimes. But this is an example of demonization, where all you do is pick out the bad stories with regards to asylum.
Where's the good ones, Ian? Where's the good ones?
Well, exactly. People don't want to paint positive stories about these people. They want to demonize them. Secondly,
is your chance to give us a positive one? Give me a positive one.
Right, then he went, well, there's loads. I could give you one I read the other day where asylum seekers saved a woman on a beach who was sinking in the sand, and the tide was coming in. She couldn't get out, and they went over and saved her life. Anyway, that's just one, right? It's an old tactic, by the far right, that to demonize people and scapegoat them and make them the cause of all of our problems. Even him up there with the glasses, I've forgotten his name.
Richard.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't forgotten your name, Ian. So if you're going to be polite, you wouldn't be to get his name, would you?
No, let me finish. Yeah. And so he went on to say about the housing crisis. Yeah, it's caused by the migrants. He actually made the connection, and then he said they're not refugees. First of all, the majority of asylum seekers who land on these shores are granted asylum because
that doesn't mean they're refugees. That means they're gaining the system, Ian. They're gaining the system. No, I can respond to questions that you're saying. I can respond to questions that you're saying.
Let me get to the end and do what I did. Make a note of all these things, yeah, and I'll address them one by one. And so the majority, yeah, of people landing on these shores in dinghies are granted asylum. That means they have refugee status. That's the majority, not all of them. Yeah. And so the rest of them are sent back or sent wherever, which is made more difficult, by the way, by Brexit because of the Northern Ireland, the Dublin agreements. Because of the Dublin agreements, we don't have the ability now to send them back to their first place landing. Hang on, I'll get to the end.
You're doing exactly what I want to respond to that point. I want to respond to that point.
Hang on, I'll get to the end about the housing. Yeah, the housing crisis is not caused by migrants. We all know, when you actually think about it, there's enough money in this country to build lots of houses for everyone, but the governments don't, and the private landlords own all the houses, and so they charge extortionate rents, and that's why it's hard to get on the property ladder, not because of the migrants. There's enough money to feed, clothe, and house everyone in this country if we so chose to.
Richard?
Yeah, well, let's get back to there's two issues there. First of all, you mentioned the Northern Ireland Protocol. It wasn't a Dublin Agreement, it was the Northern Ireland Protocol, okay? The Northern Ireland Protocol was not part of Brexit. It was because the British government panicked because Leo Varadkar, the Irish PM, was making threats that the IRA would be resurgent and would start bombing London, Belfast, and other towns and cities in the United Kingdom. And the British government panicked, and that's why we got the Northern Ireland Protocol. The whole of the UK, including Northern Ireland, should have left the EU with Brexit. It was a complete pathetic reaction from Theresa May, followed up by Boris Johnson. So that's the first point. So that had nothing to do with Brexit. That had to do with the Tory government, the pathetic, weak Tory government, not actually implementing Brexit as it should have been. So that's the first point. The point on the asylum seekers, I think it's about 75% of these people are granted asylum or leave to remain. Most of them should not be granted asylum. They have gamed the system. They've got very smart lawyers, immigration lawyers who are doing this. And I want to also challenge the fact that you're accusing us of being far right. I have personally stood toe to toe with far right thugs. Tommy Robinson has stood toe to toe. And I'm talking proper toe to toe, which you've probably never done. We've actually fought the far right, the real far right, the Nazis, the anti-Semites, the racists. So when you're making accusations against Tommy Robinson's movement, you don't know what you're talking about. I've known Tommy Robinson for 8 years. And if he was a racist, I wouldn't go within a million miles of him. There's not one racist person in our movement, in the leadership of our movement. They don't exist. Yes, there are racists out there. 100% there are racists out there. But saying that you don't want unregistered, unvetted, illegal migrants, and let's call them what they are, they're illegal. When they come to the country, you want to get legalistic about this and talk about asylum being granted. When they come to the country, they're coming here illegally. And because the asylum system is overwhelmed, as you would have seen if you watched the amazing podcast that Alison Pearson did with Winston Marshall, these people have been granted asylum because the system is completely overwhelmed. Now, I hope, I'm going to ask you a question, Ian, right? And this is a very serious question. Do you know any women or girls who have been raped by the rape gangs, the grooming gangs, or by Muslim men? Do you know any?
No.
Well, there you go. And that's where unfortunately, you lose your moral authority. Because I've sat with these girls for hour after hour after hour doing interviews. Please don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. It is to do with asylum because it is to do with asylum because a very large number of Muslim men who have come into this country as asylum seekers have been involved in the grooming gangs, and that's a documented fact. I'm not going to produce the evidence now because I'm away from my computer. But if it was on my computer, I would show you that documentary evidence.
Okay,
and what you're doing, you're either being disingenuous or you're not doing your research. That's the only two options we've got here, Ian.
Right, boys. Let me just stop you both for a minute because I want to come in here now. You've both had a good shout. Ian, I want to say first of all, I appreciate you coming on and having a conversation. It's very difficult to have a conversation with the left because most of the time they won't engage.
Okay.
I have a question for you, and it is this. Do you not think that the safety of our children and our women is important? Do you not think that there's a problem? Can you not see what's going on in front of our very eyes here?
Of course it is, but I think you've got an inflated picture of these migrants, like there's a bigger number of them doing that than there actually is.
But the statistics tell us that, Ian, this is not us, right? The government's own statistics that they're reluctant to give up and we don't even see the truth. Even those statistics tell us.
Can I just say, we have Afghan migrants are three times more. Afghan migrants are three times more likely to carry out a sexual assault than indigenous Brits.
There's
That's
no
a fact.
statistics that the government
there are statistics. I am away from I've just told you, Ian. I am away from my computer. I will get the stats and I'll publish those stats next week.
Right. Hang on, I've done my research. Wait, the government do not keep statistics on crimes based on ethnicity and refugee status. They don't do it. They don't do it. If you claim these stats.
I'm answering it. These stats These stats are coming from a migration think tank. Okay, right. I will get the stats for you. But they're coming from a reputable migration think tank that's working with peer-reviewed documentation.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd like to see it because I keep hearing there's a stat for this, and it's all to do with connecting migrant and refugee status and where they come from with crimes. The government do not take those statistics. I'm sorry.
Let me come in here, Paul. This is an important point. I'm going to give you a statistic. 2 Afghan migrants raped a 15-year-old girl, and it went to court last week. There's a stat for you. That's a fact.
Okay.
That little girl would not have been raped if your friends in the rubber dinghies hadn't come across the channel.
Yeah, but what you're doing is using an example of a terrible crime that couple of these people have committed to kind of generalize to the rest of them and want to send them all home. That's equivalent to saying we should ban cars because people get run over in them. Like, we know you.
Well, the government banned guns because one person ran around and did a stupid thing.
Well, that's what he's doing, and so I can see we should be Christians and accept people because we love them as other human beings under God and give them a helping hand. That's why they come here, because they know we're great like that.
Ian, which God is that?
Well, the Christian God. I don't.
What about the other?
Oh, you don't believe in God? Well, yeah, okay. You don't believe. That's fair enough.
I hold all the values that are considered Christian, and let me just get on to the point of me accusing you of being far right. Would you agree with this? Yeah. So, so somebody who promises, like Tommy, imagine he was a politician. Would you agree with this?
Tommy's not a politician.
Yeah, I know, but is this his position? That imagine he could promise national restoration in the face of humiliation by the immigrants, the leftists, the liberals, the minorities, the homosexuals, the women, in the face of what the leader says is a takeover of the country's media.
I am going to interrupt you there because Paul, just mute him for a minute because I want to respond to him. No, because you're talking rubbish. Okay, let me tell you something, right? Tommy Robinson is not a homophobe. Tommy Robinson is not a racist. Okay? Tommy Robinson does not discriminate against people because they're women. Tommy Robinson is none of the things that you're claiming he is. Tommy Robinson has examined the doctrines of Islam and has a very real issue with the doctrines of Islam if they are practiced under Sharia law, or if they're practiced to the extent that young girls are getting groomed and raped by gangs that are 90% Muslim. That's what Tommy Robinson's about. He is not going after people because of their skin color. Okay?
Ian, you can come back now, mate.
Right. Okay. So just to finish the sentence, and so...
You're not listening, are you? You're not listening.
I'll get to that.
Richard,
If you've interrupted me halfway, then expect me to answer you fully. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if a leader's saying, yeah, this country is under attack, the media, the cultural institutions and schools, by all those forces, the leftists, the liberals, the immigrants, all of that, do you kind of go along with that?
No,
this
because
country was once great.
I've just told you that Tommy Robinson is not against multiculturalism. He said that very, very clearly. Tommy Robinson is on record as saying multiculturalism hasn't failed. What the failure is the importation of millions of people from a religion and a demographic and a culture that is 100% diametrically opposed to British values and culture. Now we could get onto the evils of the left, and we could look at communism and look at the graves that communists have filled in the last 150 years, and we could do that all night, because as much as I hate fascists and Nazis, and I hate them. As much as I hate fascists and Nazis, I'll rephrase that. As much as I hate fascism and Nazism, I also hate communism and socialism, because they are different cheeks of the same arse. And the reality is, pardon?
Are they coming for your children, these forces?
No, but actually that's what the Muslim grooming gangs have done. Do you know how Anne Cryer is a Labour MP or a retired Labour MP? Do you know how many girls she estimated were raped and abused by the grooming gangs? She was a Labour MP in Bradford. Do you know how many young girls, underage girls, she believed the grooming gangs have raped? Do you know?
I don't know what she believed.
Well, here's another stat that you don't know. 1 million girls. That's what Anne Cryer said.
Well, she might say that, but there's no evidence for 1 million, is there?
Well, actually, if you did the research that we done, you'd find there is a lot of evidence that circumstantial evidence that there could be. Okay, there was 1,200. There was 1,200. Sorry, no, hold on. There was 1,200 girls raped. No, I'm not. There was 1,200 girls raped in Telford. 1,200.
Right, boys, 1 minute. I'm going to come in now, so I've got to silence you both for just a second. Ian, I want to ask you something before you go. Are you there? Sorry, Ian. Yeah, are you there? Okay, I want to ask you something, right? I'm happy to sit here as a referee and watch you guys hammer it all out, but I'm going to come in when I want to come in, and I'm going to ask you a question. Do you honestly think, with your hand on your heart, now you said you're a family man, I take it you've probably got kids. I'm not going to ask you if you have, but I think you said you had. I'm going to ask you a question now, and I want you to answer this from the bottom of your heart, right? The people that you are protecting tonight and that you are standing up for, when the time comes, do you think they're going to show you, your family and your daughters the same compassion that you are showing them?
Well, I haven't met a single Muslim who believes that it's okay to do things with little girls or other.
Well, do you know what, Ian? Do you know what, Ian?
I've never met a Muslim who has shown love and compassion. Hang on, second.
I've met them.
I ain't met a single Muslim in
Don't
this
Speaker's
world
Corner.
who ain't just a nice person and goes by our laws and
Ian, I want to say to you, this, right, is that yes, I haven't met any Muslims. I haven't met anyone. I've never met a white guy that's come up to me and said, "Oh, I'm a nonce."
Well, exactly.
Right, but what you've only got to look at the evidence. You keep asking for evidence. The evidence.
There's only a small
Ian,
amount of evidence.
Hold on. You're not. It's not a smaller. Ian, you're not answering my question.
Right.
Do you think that these people will show you? Do you think radical Islam will show you and your family and your daughters the same compassion that you're displaying on here
well,
tonight?
you're conflating moderate Muslims.
Okay.
And no, don't butt in again. You're conflating.
I'll butt in when I want to, fella.
Right, you're conflating the two, right? Normal, everyday Muslims who you encounter every day, and radical Islam. There's radical Christianity.
Yes, I agree. Here's the problem.
Right, let me in here. Let me in here.
Hang on. Any extremism is bad, yeah? And so I just wanted to mention the thing about Tommy when he goes up to these places about the grooming gangs. If he really had children's interests at heart, he wouldn't only say, look, it's only the Pakistanis. He would bring up everything, all the people.
You know why?
Right, okay. Paul, I'm going to come in here because I have to come in here, okay? Let me come in.
Deal with those.
Paul, let me come in here. Let me come in here. Paul, please let me come in here, right? Because I've got something to say. It's very important. This guy's not letting anyone talk. He's not listening. Are you listening?
No,
okay.
Richard, you're both as bad as one another.
Well, no, actually, because I'm telling the truth and he's lying. Now, here's the thing. Right? When you talk, let this guy talk. He's been sitting there very, very quietly, and he hasn't got
I love your shows, bro. All right,
Craig, your mic. Craig, by the way, the reason you haven't been able to speak is your mic has been muted your end, my friend.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, but now I can hear you.
All right, thank you. Right. Oh, bollocks. Hold on. Right, Richard, I love your show, brother. I've not watched half of them. The guy to next to me is Henry. I've been on shows with him before. Paul, you're a brilliant guy. Don't need to listen to this flaming plankers come on. All right?
Exactly.
He likes to hear his own bloody voice. He's an absolute idiot. Everyone's had enough of him. If you've seen the chat, people are telling you to get him off because he's an absolute blank.
And he's lying.
Everyone hates him. Everyone actually hates him.
Well, I would just like to say my position is the mainstream position.
Henry, you're a lefty
by the way.
Yeah, he's a lefty troll. Let me just. But I do want to answer some of his points because it's valid that we answer his points. He talked about moderate Islam. Okay, well, I would like I've done extensive research into Islam in the UK. 45% of the mosques in the UK are run by Deobandi clerics. Now, if you don't know what Deobandi clerics are, Ian, sorry, what's this guy's name? Henry, is
Henry.
It? This little guy in the corner? Henry. If you don't know what Henry, it's called Henry. Okay. If you don't know what Deobandi clerics are, go and look it up. 7% or 8% are run by Salafis and another 2% by other extremist clerics. So over 50% are run by extremist clerics. That sounds terrible. 75% of the Muslims in the UK are Barelvi. Now, Barelvi Islam was thought at one point to be a very, very moderate form of Islam. Okay? What we're finding now is that they have a fanatical love for Muhammad. Let me tell you something about Muhammad. Muhammad married Aisha. Now, this isn't me making this up. This isn't right-wing trolling. This is a fact in the hadiths, the authoritative hadiths, in other words, the Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Islam, the authoritative hadiths claim that Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 years old, and he consummated the marriage, in other words, raped her when she was 9 years old. You got a speaker's corner. Not one Muslim apologist will deny that. They just try to justify it by saying, oh, she was a very well-developed 9-year-old who had reached puberty. Then you wonder why. 80% of the men that are involved in the grooming gangs in the UK are Pakistani Muslims, also a few Bangladeshis and Somalis thrown in there. That's why. Now, I'm not going to be lectured by someone who doesn't know the facts of the case and is just coming on with his hope not hate leaflet in front of him and spewing all the nonsense, who's never spoken to any of the victims of sexual abuse and rape, and slandering Tommy, who sat with these women for hours like I did and interviewed them and talked to them and sat and wept with them when we heard of the abhorrent things that they saw. Let me just tell you about one of those women that I spoke to, Henry. She was trying to escape the grooming gang. She was about 14 years old. She was kidnapped. By the grooming gang. They took her to a cafe in Telford. They took her in the back of the cafe, opened a chest freezer. In the chest freezer was the body of a little white girl. Okay? She panicked and didn't leave the grooming gang because she was terrified that was going to happen to her. So don't come and lecture me that you've met loads of nice Muslims. I get my hair cut by a nice Muslim once a month. He's a perfectly nice gentleman. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that he's a rapist or a groomer, but the reality is the predominance of it in those communities is a threat to national security. It's a threat to our stability. It's a threat to community cohesion. And you, my friend, are facilitating it. I'm not going to interact with this guy anymore. In fact, I'm about out of here, but it's just beyond belief that people are still believing this nonsense, especially when even the British government are admitting that the vast majority of grooming gangs are Pakistani Muslims.
Right, Richard, hold on a minute. Right, Ian, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. I'm always polite. I'm always try and be a gentleman to everyone that, comes on and takes part in the show. I can't agree with anything you said, I'm afraid, tonight, but I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to bring it in Katie. Katie, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. I was actually just going to bed, but I was listening to Ian, and I was like, no. Got to jump in.
Well, more now,
unbelievable. So basically, is his name? Is he like a
His real name, Henry. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure he's a troll. I mean,
the first video, the first person who came up with Paul Thorpe, the other original guy, that was him. The second guy was actually him, who actually came up as Henry, and that was him again.
Well, he's got Richard going, so he's done a good
well,
job.
no, do you know what? No, can I be honest with you, Paul? Right, I'm going to be very serious about this, right? Because your channel is a big channel, right? And when scumbags like that come on, and they're deliberately lying, right? We get this from people that go on GB News. We get it from people that go on the mainstream media and the BBC. We know what they believe. And it's kind of, don't get me wrong, I'll debate any of them all day long and I'll win every single debate because I know what the truth is and they don't. But the point is, giving them the oxygen of publicity is pretty much a thankless task because you're not going to get anywhere with it.
No, you're right. The problem is, Richard, is that when you do live show, we don't have the technology, the big chat. We don't know what these people are going to say. I don't know what Katie's going to say, but let's hear it. Katie, what are you going to say?
Go on, Katie.
I've got a couple of things to say. Excuse me. The first thing, sorry, I've got a very dry mouth. I've been out drinking all night, so I'm very, very dry. But the first thing I want to say is with the grooming gang inquiry, everyone's like, there's no correlation between ethnicity and this and that. We don't need to do the inquiry. Well, if that's the case, that's even more reason to do an inquiry, isn't it?
Yeah.
To prove it wrong, right? That's the first thing. The second thing to say is, through millions of years of biology, we've all been programmed with something that we cannot control, and it's our instinct, right? So I can't speak for all of the men out there, but as a woman, particularly when you have children, the instinct to protect them is all-consuming. As you know, if you're parents, anyone who's a parent knows that feeling. It's a complete drive in you. You cannot ignore it.
Yeah,
so when
absolutely.
you have men like that other guy coming in and saying, oh, they're nothing to worry about. They're nothing to worry about. We've got millions of years of evolution on our side. If I know that there's potentially going to be a problem with that person, I can feel it and I don't want to be near them. But these people, they're so arrogant. They're so arrogant that they think that their views and their feelings take precedent over how we have evolved. I can't help it if I feel scared of these people. I'm not saying they're all bad people, but I'm saying if there's a group of people who I know aren't culturally aligned with me, don't like women particularly, and have a propensity towards sexual violence, I'm going to stay away from them. And I don't care what anyone calls me because of that. That's how I'm programmed, and that's it. And that was my say for the night.
Brilliant. That was fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Some common sense, for goodness sake. We've had so many dipsticks on this channel tonight.
Welcome tonight.
The thing is, take the science out of it. This isn't difficult. We see animals do it. Animals protect their young. We're animals. We're doing what we've always done, except this time someone's saying, no, you're wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think I've got to invite Lee back in as well, because Lee's actually gone and come back. He's obviously, I can see steam coming out of his ears. Come on, Lee, go and get it off your chest, brother.
It was just listening to that last chat, and when you get into local politics, you get the far left comments.
I have to listen to that on every time I go on another channel. Yeah, there's a guy called Society X he has his own channel. Henry goes on that channel and does the same thing on his channel. And I've been there, and I literally every time he comes in, I leave.
But you know what? Do you know what? I like to listen to them shoot themselves in the foot. I think it's fun. You just let them chat shit. Do you know what I mean?
Paul and Richard, you guys are brilliant.
I'll tell you why I get annoyed with it, because I've spoke to girls and women who've been raped by these scumbags. Yeah. So it's not a game to me. It's not let's have some laughs and giggles because he's a lefty. It's a very serious thing. And, these people are dangerous. And they get enough. I'll be honest with you, I think the left are far more dangerous than Islam. Yeah. They're in control of everything. They're the ones that are degrading our country. And anyone knows me knows how very, very worried I am about the Islamization of the UK. But the left are in control at the minute. And that little twat should not get the oxygen of publicity. That's what I think. We get that on the BBC and Sky News all the time. I don't want to hear it on here, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. If I'm on a thing, it'll get shut down anyway.
Let me bring in Neil, because Neil's waving away at me there. We've got, let's have a quick look. We're going to be wrapping it up soon, guys. We've got Shanae and Neil. Good evening, Shanae. How are you doing?
Not too bad, you?
Yeah, you all still awake there, everyone. It's a late one tonight, isn't it? What's on your mind tonight, darling?
That man. Oh, I wasn't going to come in, but he's infuriated me. I mean,
yeah, sweetheart, he does that to everyone.
I've spoken to you before, so you know my background. My father was non-practicing Muslim, what you'd call moderate, didn't practice. They're the only moderates, ones who do not practice, ones who've never gone to a mosque. They go to a mosque, they are not moderate. If they're walking around with the dress on, they are not moderate. I don't know what it's called. My dad never went in a mosque in his life. My mum's Catholic. I've grown up knowing both sides. My dad told me all the stuff that they talk about. I've been a victim of one of these men off the boats. He grabbed my arm in Ilford High Street. I was crossing the road. Oh, hang on. My cat's just turned you on. Sorry. My cat turned the telly on. He's very clever. But he grabbed my arm and he wouldn't let me pass, kept asking him to come back. Lovely lady, I want to have good time, grabbing my arm. And still kept shouting at me when I got away. I've been surrounded by 7 of these men. I think they were Syrians, 7 of them drunk, surrounded me. I got away when a couple came jogging. I've been followed down the street. I've been harassed in a cab. It's endless. I could go on and on and on. This man, where does that man live? He obviously doesn't live in this country, or he lives in some cave somewhere.
He does live in Britain. He does live in the UK.
Well, he's living somewhere where this hasn't got to them yet.
Because these are the kind of people I actually don't think these people even care. I think they've got no moral compass.
But that's the point.
I think even if it happened to his wife or one of his daughters, if he's got any, I don't think he'd care. He'd still say, "Oh, poor little migrants just come in and rape my daughter." But that's what they do there. He didn't know. Well, they should be told, but they're not told that. They are told the complete opposite. And I know this is what they think. I've been told because of my background, I get told stuff. They don't tell other people.
You know what? One of the reasons that I like to let people like that have their say is because anyone watching this tonight that's on the fence, it should make up their goddamn mind and it should convince them as to the battle we are fighting. They need to be heard so that people know how skewed their brain is. Let me bring in Neil.
But Paul, they also need to be challenged and challenged very robustly.
Absolutely.
You can't tickle their ears. You've got to box their ears.
Yeah. Let me bring in Neil.
I've tried. I allow the one underneath me, living in the flat underneath. Left if you don't listen.
Yeah.
Neil, good evening. Can you hear me, mate?
Good evening, mate. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I just wanted to say that's why I'm on here, because of that Henry the Tool, whatever he is. I don't know what he is. Fair play to Richard.
His dad was a tool maker, Neil. His dad was a tool maker.
I salute you, mate. I tell you what, I'm 64 and I'm knocking out tonight. I don't know about next week. I'm sorry for saying that, but you know. I just don't see why we should appease these people. And give him all the airtime. I know, Paul, you've got to hear what he's got to say. But why do we have to keep explaining ourselves as patriots to these idiots? Do you know what I mean? And like you said before, I'd go after them first before I went after the Muslims. I really would. I think it's disgraceful.
Well, that's not the problem. It's people like them that are letting this happen.
They are the problem,
They keep encouraging it. They keep encouraging it. Yeah.
They are the facilitators. Let me bring in, Lee back in. Lee, you've come back in obviously for a reason. You know, go for it, mate.
So in the West Midlands, you're probably aware of some of the instances probably recently in Leamington Spa with the Afghani rapist there, and previously before that we've had things happen in Warsaw. And recently, so when these articles are released on, we've got a paper called Black Country Live, and what I found really disgusting was some of the comments from similar sort of people, like probably Henry on the left side of things, apologising for the behaviour. They're like, it's not their fault, it's because of the culture they're from. And it's like, but where do you stand with that? It's like, that is their culture, and their culture is in the country that they're coming from, but it's not the culture of the British people over here. And we're letting that over here. It's not safe to do it. But we've got people in our own country apologising for this behaviour, which I think, where'd you go with that?
The thing is, it's been going on a long time. I mean, like I said before, when my sister was young and she was at school, there was a girl in her class. She was 14. She was walking home from school and she got raped. The guy was Muslim and the parents were Muslim, so-called moderate. They wanted her to marry him because he had raped her. She didn't want to marry him. She didn't want to see him again. He attacked her and raped her, but they wanted her to marry him. And that's not uncommon. If they want someone and the girl doesn't want them, that's a thing they will do to try and get married to them.
What can you do about that, though?
It's sick. The whole religion is based on sex. At the end of it, if you look at it, every single bit of it is based on sex. That's what it is. It's all based on sex. Everything to do with Muhammad was to do with sex. He said he went off on a horsey thing that wasn't a horse, and he was shown that all the women were burning in hell because they didn't listen to the man, and he made up a story. He was listening to two different religions, the Hebrew and the Christian. He was listening to it, like the Orthodox at the time, and he was listening to that, listened to bits, put them together, and made up a story. It's all fake. The whole thing is fake.
Totally.
And I'm not going to say anything else. It's fake. The whole thing is fake. It's a cult, and it's gone on and on for thousands of years. And these people are sick. The whole thing is based on sex. You look at it, women have to cover up because the men can't control themselves. They marry you as soon as they think you're old enough, they must marry you. I knew one little girl, she was engaged at 6 months old. She was engaged to a 7-year-old boy at 6 months old.
Unbelievable.
My biggest disappointment is, so I went to Iraq for 7 months. I did 13 months in Afghanistan total. So you go in there in the belief that you're stopping this sort of thing coming to the British shores and all this sort of stuff. And then 10 years later, you're seeing it in Warsaw where I live. Like it's literally on the same road, really, pretty much where you live, and you're like thinking, was that a waste of time? All the things that we were doing. Anyone said the British forces have gone out to do these sort of things in Iraq and Afghanistan. What was the point in all that?
Exactly.
We've sort of accepted the very cultures that we oppose.
100%. That's the problem. I mean, it's the reality. We were told it was a global war on terror, but I mean, now they're calling us the terrorists.
Yeah,
and they are.
Now it's all our fault.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm going to have to shoot because it's like
I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up.
Seriously, Rick, you're a brilliant guy. I love you, mate. I love your shows.
Appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
God bless you. I had to take my feet to say hello to you. I've been trying to say hello to you for so bloody long. I've been in your chat, hello. You've never replied to it. So I'm like,
give us a fist pump. There we go.
Right, so we're going to say goodnight. We're going to say goodnight to Richard, goodnight to Craig, goodnight to Lee, goodnight to Neil, goodnight to Katie, goodnight to Sinead. Thank you all so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I've got to tell you, boys and girls, tonight that was difficult to referee. I have got absolutely zero technology that tells me who's coming on, who's going off, what they're going to say, what they're going to be wearing. Richard, just don't surprise me one night and come on, start naked. Guys.
Richard, are you doing one of those prayer things again?
Yeah, we're going to do one next, probably next Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, next Wednesday or Thursday.
I'll look out for it. It was really nice.
When I recover from this live stream.
Yeah, I need a few days off.
I'm not going to bloody sleep tonight now.
The demo was a walk in the park compared with coming on Thorpe's channel tonight. You know what I mean?
I've got to tell you,
I just couldn't believe how quick that he spotted that was a bot.
Yeah.
That was incredibly quick, Richard. That was incredibly quick.
Straight away, I just knew. You just tell.
I thought it was quite funny. He changed it. He had his voice as sort of like Irish, then he started changing to his normal voice.
Yeah. Well, he's got one of those. Here, have you noticed, guys? Have you noticed? Yeah. Have you noticed all when you hear them talk, they all talk like this. They all talk like that's the way Lester talks, isn't it? Yeah. Oh. They've no brain. They've no testicular fortitude either. They're lacking in testosterone.
And they'll never come on camera. We'll be back soon. Have a lovely week. Good night, everyone.
Take it easy. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. So long.